Today's best music.
Magic 89.9.
Today's best music on Magic 89.9. What is up, everyone? You got DJ Meg Santillan talking to you guys again for another round of Q&As on this wonderful, wonderful Saturday. This time we got one of the biggest new artists in the world. Her name is Olivia Rodrigo, and she's going to be talking to us about her debut album, Sour, today, and of course about Driver's License and a little bit about Deja Vu as well. So let's all welcome Olivia Rodrigo right here to Magic 89.9. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, hey guys, thank you so much for having me. I'm so stoked about my album, and I'm so happy that you guys are here.
So Olivia, just to start things off here, why did you call the album Sour?
Yeah, a couple different reasons. I was super inspired by sort of late 90s, early 2000s grungy, angsty music, and I felt like sour is another word for like angsty too, which I like. But I was also like, I was trying to write a song actually called Sour because I was obsessed with this concept of like relationships going sour and also like your relationship with yourself going sour. And I felt like that was like a really great way to sort of describe this period of life that I was in when I wrote the album. Just sort of all these things that were once so awesome and sweet, just sort of decaying and going sour. So that's why I named it Sour, and it also has my initials on it, which is a fun bonus.
All right, so what were the inspirations for crafting the sound behind Sour?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just sort of tried to write as honestly as I possibly could, and I think by doing that, it sort of became like this era of my life. We tried to like put like love songs on the record or like more like happy, upbeat songs, and it just didn't feel right to me. It didn't resonate with my experience, and so I think by staying true to what I was feeling, it sort of created that common thread throughout all the songs.
So did you have that creative liberty as well? Were you able to tell the record label like what you wanted to do, what you wanted to make for the album?
Yeah, definitely. Sour was entirely made by, we had one of our co-writers, Casey Smith, but entirely written by me and my producer, Dan Nigro. So we had a ton of creative liberty over it, which was so cool. And I'm an actor, so I'm used to sort of being on a set and being a part of this like huge production where you play like a smaller role, which is awesome and so much fun. But it was sort of really cool to get to do whatever I wanted with my own album and get to do whatever I wanted with the visuals and music. So that was really exciting.
So given that, what's your favorite song from the new album and why?
Oh my gosh. It changes all the time. Right now, I think there's this song called Traitor. I really like the song. It's super emotional. It's kind of in the Driver's License vein, I would say. Mm-hmm. But it changes all the time. Usually my favorite song is the one that I like most recently wrote because that's like the like headspace that I'm in. So yeah, that one's my favorite right now.
Speaking of songs now, your debut song Driver's License was a global massive hit. What did that feel like for you?
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I had no expectations really going into Driver's License. I was kind of just going with the flow. But even if I did have expectations, never in my wildest dreams would I have ever expected that it would have the sort of success that it did. It was just super, super surreal. And I really still can't wrap my head around everything that sort of happened. Because the song came out and I was in quarantine and it was just like in my house. So it was so strange to sort of see all these numbers on my phone and all these records being broken. But I've never actually played like a real show and like seen anyone sing the song. So anyway, but it was so cool. And I resonate with the song a lot. And so it was really cool to see other people resonate with it, no matter their age or gender or whatever. It was really cool. It was on Saturday Night Live, which is like this sketch comedy show in America that I'm like so obsessed with. And they did like a skit about how Driver's License like was sad enough it even like affected like grown men, which I thought was super cool. And that's sort of when I knew I was like, oh wow, this is like really sort of like impacting culture, I guess. That was like the coolest moment for me. And I think that's sort of when I knew that like, oh my gosh, this is like a bigger thing than I initially expected.
So since we're talking about the album and the songs here, what real life events inspired the songs on your debut album, Sour?
Yeah, I wrote Sour mostly when I was 17. So Sour is sort of just a slice of my 17-year-old life, and just about all of like, the sadness and anger and jealousy and insecurity that I felt in that period of my life. I think like 16, 17 are very much like transitive periods in like teenagehood. So it's just sort of about all those feelings I was feeling then.
Okay, so did you ever think as well that you'd have more than one hit from your debut album?
Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, it's just so crazy. I just feel so grateful that the songs that I write are resonating with people. That's just my biggest dream as a songwriter. And I try not to like think of things in like hits, like sort of like that perspective, just because it like messes with my head so much. But I'm just so happy that people are resonating with the stories that I'm telling, and I hope that I can continue to sort of share that experience with people.
All right, so speaking of songs from your album as well, Deja Vu is already climbing up charts worldwide and looks to be like another global smash hit. If it's not already, I mean, hello, it is. So, speaking of Deja Vu, if you could control Deja Vu, what moment in your life would you like to live all over again?
That is a great question. Oh my gosh. Like one of the best days of my life was my 16th birthday. I was in Salt Lake City, and like after the show that I was on, and they surprised me when we went to a roller rink, which was so fun. And like the roller rink played all my favorite music, and my best friend flew in from another state to surprise me, and it was just the best time ever. So I would get deja vu back to that moment because it was so fun.
Gotta say, you have some very sweet friends, huh? So that's a great story. Just saying, it's a great story. And what's one story you're excited to tell on this album?
Ooh. There's a song on there that talks a lot about comparison to other people on social media, which I'm really excited to talk about. I think that's something that I feel and have felt so sort of deeply, and I'm excited to sort of share that story. I think that's something that we don't really like talk about a ton.
So wait, given that, do you compare yourself to others on social media as well?
Yeah, there's this period of time where social media is making me so sad, and I was just comparing myself to everyone and feeling like I wasn't good enough. And so I wrote a song about that, and I think it's sort of really interesting concept to tackle. And I hope that like people can like relate to it and feel seen, I guess.
Are you the type of songwriter who can only write on experiences that happened to you, or do you also like draw from things you imagine, use creative liberties?
Oh, no, not at all. I think lots of my songs are sort of based on my personal life, just because that's like the topic I really know the most about. But yeah, I definitely write a lot of songs from either like, I guess, imagination. I think all of my songs are just my personal life, but with a little bit of imagination, because if I wrote my personal life verbatim, people would be like, that's boring. So I definitely draw on a lot of imagination. And one of the songs on the record, it's called Hope You're Okay, is written from sort of the perspective of my friends. I don't actually know some of the people that I talk about in the song, but they're sort of like stories that I had accumulated from different friends. So stuff like that I do all the time. And yeah, I write songs from imagination all the time as well.
So when you finish a song, how do you know it's good to go? How do you know that the song's complete, like everything is good to go, good for airing, good for playing on YouTube and whatnot? How do you know that a song is full and complete?
I actually never know that it's perfectly finalized and good to go. I will be like tweaking the song until the very last moment when my record label is like, okay, Olivia, we have to put it out now. You have to like send us the final version. So, I think, yeah, every time it's different, but I'm always sort of like, is it good enough? Like till the very last second. So, yeah, I sort of a perfectionist with that kind of stuff.
All right. So next up, just want to ask you, how do you keep yourself motivated and inspired to write music during the pandemic?
Yeah, so for the first 6 months, I'd say, of the pandemic, I actually challenged myself to write a song every day. And that sort of was really an awesome exercise for me as a songwriter. And I wrote, I think, I wrote Hope You're Okay, and was that the only one? I think I wrote a couple of the songs on the record in that like period of time during that challenge. So that was really great for me, yeah, I think it made me a much better songwriter.
How does music empower or heal you?
Oh wow, that's a great question. Yeah, I mean, writing music is so therapeutic for me. There's nothing like taking like sort of confusing feelings in your head and making a song about them, and the song makes the feelings feel so much simpler and more manageable. Yeah, it's super empowering to see like me write about, you know, being sad or insecure and see that like resonating with people and making them feel less alone. I think that's one of the most empowering things that I've really done in my life.
Now, given that driver's license actually blew up on TikTok, how do you see TikTok as a way to promote music?
Yeah, I mean, I think TikTok is an incredible forum for music to be shared. And especially with driver's license, there were so many people who rewrote driver's license from like different perspectives, even like funny ones. Like somebody wrote like driver's license from the road's perspective, or like driver's license from like the person behind you trying to get to work's perspective. So that was so fun, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's so cool that people from all over the world can sort of share their creativity like that. It's really inspiring as a songwriter, and it was super cool to see people do that with my songs.
Now, of course, you mentioned how proud you are of your Filipino heritage, and you're a big lumpia fan. Can you tell us more about your Filipino side?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. My dad is Filipino and his family is Filipino, so that's sort of where I get, you know, sort of all of that from. I'm actually not sure where my family is from. I know that I have a couple of, like, my dad has, like, cousins there and stuff that I really want to go visit one day. So, yeah, I'm really hoping that I can come to the Philippines sooner rather than later. I hear it's amazing, and I can't wait to meet all of, like, the Filipino fans and stuff. I think that'd be incredible.
So, Olivia, do you have any final words for all your fans out here?
Yeah, I mean, just thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited for Sour to come out, and I'm so excited to visit Southeast Asia one of these days.
There you have it, folks. That was Olivia Rodrigo talking to us about her latest album, Sour, which is out very, very soon. And, of course, her big hits, Driver's License and Deja Vu, right here on Magic 89.9. Once again, folks, my name is Meg Santillan. I'll talk to you guys again soon, right here on Today's Best Music, for Magic 89.9.